I read bedtime stories to my little brother every night for 2 years before learning he was completely deaf. It started the night Mom and Dad brought Liam home from the hospital when I was 8 years old. He was this tiny red-faced thing that cried constantly, and I remember feeling annoyed that everyone was making such a big deal about him. Mom asked me if I wanted to help with the baby, and I said no because I was in the middle of reading my favorite book about dragons and knights. But then Dad pulled me aside and told me that being a big brother was the most important job I'd ever have, and that Liam would look up to me for everything. He said I could teach him things and protect him and be his best friend. Something about the way Dad said it made me feel like I'd been given a secret mission, so I agreed to try. That first week was chaos with Mom barely sleeping, and Dad taking time off work to help with feedings and diaper changes. Liam cried so much that I started wearing my headphones around the house just to block out the noise. But one evening when everyone was exhausted and overwhelmed, Mom handed Liam to me while she took a shower. He was fussing and turning red, and I didn't know what to do. I sat in the rocking chair in his nursery and just started reading out loud from the dragon book I'd been holding. Within minutes, Liam stopped crying and just stared at me with these huge dark eyes. I kept reading even though I knew he couldn't understand the words, and he stayed calm the entire time. When Mom came back, she found us like that and actually cried. She said I was a natural big brother and that Liam clearly loved my voice already. After that night, it became our routine. Every evening before Liam's bedtime, I'd sit in the rocking chair and read to him for at least 30 minutes. At first, I just read whatever books I was into, fantasy adventures and mystery stories that were way too advanced for a baby. But Liam seemed to love it regardless. He'd focus on my face with this intense concentration, occasionally reaching up to grab at my shirt or touch my cheek. Mom said babies responded to the sound of voices and the rhythm of speech, that it helped their brain development even if they couldn't understand the actual words yet. As Liam got older and could sit up on his own, I started picking books specifically for him, picture books with animals and colors, simple stories about trucks and trains. I'd show him the pictures while reading, pointing at different things and making sound effects. When the book had a cow, I'd moo loudly. When there was a train, I'd make the whistle noise. Liam would laugh and clap his hands, sometimes trying to grab the book from me to look at the pictures closer. Those reading sessions became my favorite part of the day, this special time that was just for the two of us. Mom and Dad would peek in sometimes and smile at us, but they mostly left us alone. It was our thing, our bond. By the time Liam turned 1, he still wasn't talking or even babbling much, but the pediatrician said some kids were just slower with language development. Mom seemed worried during those doctor visits, asking lots of questions about milestones and developmental delays, but the doctor kept reassuring her that boys often talked later than girls and that there was a wide range of normal. I didn't think much about it because Liam seemed perfectly fine to me. He was happy and interactive, always smiling and laughing during our reading time. He'd gotten really good at turning pages, and he'd bounce excitedly when I picked up one of his favorite books. We had this one about a caterpillar that ate through different foods, and Liam would try to poke his finger through the holes in the pages every single time. When his first birthday came around, we had a small party with family and a few of Mom's friends who had kids around Liam's age. I remember watching the other babies, noticing how some of them were saying mama or dada, or at least making more sounds than Liam did. One toddler was even putting 2 words together. But when it came time for cake, Liam was the happiest kid there, smashing his face into the frosting and laughing silently in that way he did. I didn't see anything wrong with him. He was perfect. The reading routine continued through Liam's 2nd year. By then, I'd started 4th grade and had more homework, but I never skipped our bedtime stories. It was the one part of my day I looked forward to, no matter how stressful school got. Liam had developed these little rituals during our reading time that I found adorable. He'd climb into my lap and pat the book to tell me he was ready. When I got to his favorite pages, he'd put his hand on my chest, almost like he was checking that I was still there. If I tried to skip pages to finish faster, he'd frantically flip back to the ones I'd missed. He knew these books so well that he could tell when I was cheating. I started noticing that Liam would watch my face constantly during the reading. His eyes never left my mouth and expressions, tracking every word even though I assumed he was just fascinated by the movement. When I did different voices for characters, making them high or low or silly, Liam would smile or laugh. I thought he could hear the differences in my voice and found them funny. It never occurred to me that he might be reading my facial expressions and emotional cues instead. Looking back now, there were so many signs I completely missed because I didn't know what to look for. Mom took Liam to another doctor appointment right after he turned 2, and this time she came home looking shaken. Dad got home from work and they went into their bedroom to talk privately, but I could hear Mom crying through the walls. I stood outside their door feeling scared because I'd never heard Mom cry like that before. These deep sobs that sounded like something was broken inside her. When they finally came out, both their eyes were red and Dad's jaw was clenched in that way it got when he was trying not to show emotion. They sat me down at the kitchen table and told me something that I never expected to hear. The rest of the story is linked below or on my channel.